It is the end of the second day, 6 hours after I put this on, and I'm just going to sneak this somehow. I'm going to edit this into the beginning of the video because at the end of the video, the end of the second day, I have updated my thoughts on this, and I want to be sure that you see it because I know most people don't watch the entire video, and if you don't, then just skip to the end. I'll put conclusions in there and you will see what I'm talking about. Hey guys, today we're going to be looking at another concealer. So recently I did the Westman Atelier, which I really like, but I haven't much time to wear it since I did the video because it's been so hot and I just haven't been putting on any makeup. And then I got the Rituel de Fille. So Rituel de Fille, I'm going to be reading here. It's called Soft Sorcery Weightless Serum Concealer, but it does have a creamy texture. They're saying that it is the ultimate magic potion, unlike anything you've ever seen before. Magic for your complexion, self-sets to an ultra-natural finish that wears like your own skin. Magic in the formulation, real coverage, long wear, and feather-light feel. I'm wearing it now, and this is going to be day one, but I didn't read any of the goodies when I was putting it on, and then tomorrow we'll do day two. Magic in the ingredients, the first makeup ever made with an innovative new carotenoid antioxidant active, and that active is called oxanthin. Not sure how to pronounce that. Never cakey, never greasy, never drying, never sticky. I like the sound of that. I don't like it sticky on dry. Let's talk about this thing that I can't pronounce. Oxanthin is an ultra-powerful, ultra-gentle, fermented carotenoid developed specifically to care for the delicate under-eye area while improving its appearance over time. A patented new encapsulation technology ensures its stability in formulation. Soft Sorcery Concealer contains this remarkable antioxidant at skincare level effective concentration to support your skin every single time you wear it. So elsewhere I saw, I think I was online, and it says a little goes a long way with this, and I would agree. And today I'm actually wearing it on my face. I had like, I don't know, an ingrown and definitely kind of a pimple thing that I picked at, so I needed to recover from that. And I'm also wearing the 3-drop foundation, which I have not worn in quite a while, partly because I felt like it wouldn't be very comfortable for me in the summertime. And yeah, I'm reminded at how really pretty it is on the skin. I've been wearing both products right now for 3 hours, so let's get into day one. So today I am wearing the Rituel de Fille 3-drop foundation, which I haven't worn in a little bit. So this is 120 and 130 that I mixed together. I always mix these, and I change the mix depending on what tone I am. So there we have it, and I think it is so beautiful on the skin. As it happens, I had a little pimple and I have some things I want to cover, and we're going to get into it. I'm just going to probably do the same thing and mix these two colors. They're both pretty light. One is more pinkish. So this is 121 and this is 116. And I think this is a bit olive and this is a little bit pink. So let's just do the pink one. And that is 121. And just going to, first time wearing it, do a little bit. They do say a little goes a long way. And I'm going to go with fingers. All my nails broke in a 48-hour period, so it's easy for me to do fingers. And this does have a creamy nature to it. Although they're calling it a serum. Go ahead and put some on the lids and give it that crease test. I have primed with my Dermatology, which I'm just keeping here now, And then I went on with the U-verse. Is it U-verse? Again, I'll put it in the subtitle right here, which is more silicone kind of based. A little bit of troughing right off the bat, right here. I'm just going to buttress without removing it. Great. Wow. So this is the second concealer video I'm doing in a week. I don't know exactly when I'm going to post this, but this just came out. And I did try it before the Westman Atelier, but I didn't try it in here. I just kind of did one of those, ooh, open the package, something new, boo, 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 and that was it. They do say that this self-sets, so let's see how that works out. So let's go in with the Angie brush and see what's going on here. This is the Hot and Flashy brush. But I kind of use it the same way I use my finger, which is patting, because it's too dense for me. It pulls the skin where the rougher brush doesn't. And this under eye is much more craggly and challenging. You know, I think the coverage is about the same with both of them. I'll do a close-up and you can take a look. This is the craggly eye, and this is the more normal, less annoying eye. I would say they both trough about the same. So a little bit of troughing again. I want to go in with this brush because it's softer. Yeah. And I may not trough here because I feel like less product. You know what I did want to try? Do a little pimple coverage. And going directly on the face like that, probably not a good idea. Professional makeup artists would disperse this on the hand and pick it up with a very small brush. And I think I might have something even smaller, a lipstick brush. So I'm just going to do this. This is a little lipstick brush, and I know I have other teeny little brushes. And make sure that the product is in the little crevices, and then spread out a little bit. So the finger helps to blot and remove excess, but you don't want to take it off the redness and the little crevices from the little pimple or ingrown hair or whatever it is. Pretty darn good. I got this new gloss from Bloomeffects, and it's really yummy. So I'll just do a little crawler on my lips. And I'm just going to pull you in. There is the concealer, which a little bit of troughing, a little bit here, but not really much, and not powdered. I think the skin looks really, really good. I am going to powder the face, but not the under eyes. Okay, I'll be back in 2 to 3 hours. It's only been about 15 minutes. I washed a couple of brushes, I came in and put on a blush. I've got the YSL samples, and this is Nude Lavari. Lavari? I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that right. And I was looking under my eyes. I was just going to close up this room, and I'm going to go in with the Hot and Flashy and pat down. I'm just, the warmth of my finger and the warmth of the skin hopefully will get it to smooth out a little bit. And I want to powder, but I also wash my powder brush. So I'm going to do something a little unusual, and I have seen people do this before. I'm going to pick up a little bit of my By Terry powder with my finger and set. And that's what it looks like. So I will come back, actually. Maybe I'll do this one unpowdered and this one powdered, and then I'll be back in 3 hours and we'll see what they look like together. But I was kind of thinking I wanted to do it anyway because of the sheen under the eyes. I kind of like the Westman Atelier better because it's not as sheeny, and I didn't feel like I needed to powder it. But this one I thought, not really liking that sheen as much. And I'll do a side to side, powder, not powdered. I'm thinking powdered, a lot better. Back in 3 hours. I'm back, you guys. It's about 3 hours later. It's almost 1, and I started at 10. Let's take a look. Okay, so the sheen is still here, but it's not too bad. It's almost like the sheen went away a little bit. A teeny bit of troughing right here, as you can see. And on this side, a teeny bit of troughing as well, but it's not that bad, honestly. So the powder, I think, helps the troughing from continuing. And my coverage is still mostly here, a little bit rubbed off on that underbody of the eye sag. I don't have the same eye sag on this side. It's more flat here. So this kind of pushes and goes into a little circle. The coverage remains the same. So I'm going to pull you in, and remember that this eye, quite craggly, and this eye is smoother. Not that it doesn't have lines, but they're horizontal lines, and this is kind of like a dry desert. And there we have it. So this isn't bad. It's not hot. I haven't been sweating. I haven't been exercising. I've been on my computer the whole time. But I do feel that I like the side better. Take the By Terry, and then tomorrow when I shoot day 2, I will let you know what happens. And first off, my hands aren't very warm, so I'm going to rub the fingers together to get some heat going on and try to melt this all back into the skin to the best of my ability. And I'm going to take a little bit of the By Terry on the finger again. I just hit the area where it shines the most first. Much, much better. There's still craggly stuff, but I'm going to pull you in so you can see what that looks like. The thing that I liked about the Westman Atelier, and I'm only comparing it not because they're the same, but because they came out just a few days, maybe a week, between each other, is that I didn't feel that I had to set it. It's not matte, but there's not so much sheen where I feel like, I don't like that. Now, a lot of people do like sheen. I have puffy under eyes, and sheen makes everything go forward because it reflects light and makes me look puffier, I think. But if you have hollow underneath your eyes, you want that lightness to bring forward, and you want that sheen that might hit that area to bring forward. So there's the foundation and the concealer together on day 1. And then tomorrow we will use the brushes. We'll see then. I forgot to mention in the beginning that I always have a discount code. Just open the description box, always have a discount code for Rituel de Fille, and I love so many of their products. So this is day 1. I've come back already, so this is my check-in, and then I just changed, and you have already seen my check-in by now. And I think it looks nice, but not perfect. And you know what? I do wonder, I do want to get this up on Sunday, but let me know if you want me to do a head-to-head with the Westman Atelier so you can make your best choice. I do feel that they're not particularly similar, but let's just do a little swatch on my hand of the Westman Atelier, and then we'll do a swatch of the Rituel de Fille. The colors are very different. In fact, this color I have in Westman Atelier is actually closer to the shade I didn't put under my eyes. So right here, Westman Atelier and the Rituel de Fille, and this is the Rituel Fille that I am wearing. And I just want to see what they feel like. So they do feel a little bit different. I feel that there is something about the Westman Atelier that has a softness to it, almost like it's a powder. Not that it's drying like a powder, and not that it's a dry formula, but there's something about this texture. Now, the more I do this stroking, the more they start to feel similar. And I don't think you'll see a difference, but this is the Westman Atelier, and this is the Rituel de Fille. I will say it looks to me that there's a bit more reflective quality to the Rituel de Fille. And for me, if I can avoid putting powder under my eyes, I would like to, because powder is drying. As much as I love my dietary powder, it is still a powder and can be drying. So yeah, the feeling is a little bit different at first. They both have that cushiony creaminess to them, but the Westman Atelier feels almost, I don't know, like it has a slip. Of course, how I move on my hands is not how I move on my finger under my eyes. I will pat under my eyes. I'm not going to go like this under my eyes. But once you start doing the Rituel de Fille 3, 4, 5 times, it starts to feel very similar to this one. I'm not saying they're the same. I just am comparing them because I just did the Westman Atelier. Now, let's get into day 2. You guys, welcome to day 2, and I also wearing the Rituel de Fille. Today I mixed 2 different colors. I did 120 and 125, where the first day was 120 and 130, and I think this is actually really good for me. So today I am going to be using a brush, and I'm going to be using the same shade that I used the first day, and that's 121. I'm going to put some on my hand and pick it up with the brush. The doe foot is quite slim, which I like. It will help you get into those curly areas. Curly areas? Those small areas. And I'm going to stamp this in. And looking up helps to stretch this area out because of the little trough. And just kind of blend it a little bit down the cheek. And you do have a little redness. Yeah, so I think this shade is fantastic, and I think the coverage is great. I'm going to do the other side. Take a look close up after application. It looks very, very nice. It's not showing any evidence that it might be seeping in, and I used to think that something very lightweight is better when you have lines and wrinkles, but now I think it's possible if something's lightweight, it's going to go into those lines and wrinkles because it will go to the lower areas and sink in, where something a little bit thicker won't. Now remember, I used to love the Kosas, and the Kosas also was thicker, so I don't really have a problem with something a little bit thicker, but I know there are people out there who do. I've already talked about how it compares to the Westman Atelier as far as the texture goes. I think it's really, really pretty when you first put it on, and it works very nicely with the brush, where I felt that the Westman Atelier was much, much better just using my finger and really squeezing it on in, because if you don't, it will skip pores. You really have to work it in, where with this, that is not happening. So that makes me think the Westman Atelier is a little bit thicker. But it is lovely. It is gorgeous. But let's do a little bit of powder. The truth is, I like the look of the Westman Atelier better. I wore it yesterday and went for a hike. It was on all day long. I looked in a 10X at 10 o'clock at night, and it looked wonderful. I am going to powder right here where the sheen is a little too much, but because my skin is drier, I figure, why put it all over? Why not just pinpoint where I'm putting the powder? A little bit of troughing, and whatever's left will get down in the trough area. But I oftentimes feel it's right after I powder that I can see, oh, this combination is just too drying under the eyes for me. but I didn't make it entirely matte. I just took the shine down a little bit, and I think it's fine. So this application is fine. I've already said what I said on the first day. I think it's lovely, but I cannot get the Westman Atelier out of my mind. But the good thing is, I am reminded how fantastic this foundation is. And I didn't wear it in the summer because I knew that it's not going to be transfer resistant. And I was wearing this yesterday and I was sweating, and I went like this to wipe the sweat away, and you know, when I got home I could see the redness in my cheeks. So it's not going to stay like the Fenty, for instance, but this is one of the most beautiful foundations I have ever tried. Full stop. And the concealer does work well with it, and the concealer is very, very nice. If you found that the Westman Atelier is too thick for you, and somebody did tell me that it was, maybe you need to try this. I always have a discount code, and I'll also put it in a comment and I'll pin it, so you can get this even less expensive than their regular price. It is lovely. It is lovely. It's just so hard for me because I just tried the Westman Atelier and I love it so much. I also need to mention, though, that the Westman Atelier shade isn't perfect. I do wish the Westman Atelier had some more shades. We're going to just swatch them together again. So 121 is what I'm using here. And here they are together. So this is the Westman Atelier, this is the Rituel de Fille. And you can see the Rituel de Fille is quite a bit brighter, it's lighter, where this is much closer to the skin tone of my hand. But my hand is lighter than my skin. So this shade is actually fine for me for depth of tone. I don't know. They're two new, really, really good concealers for mature skin. For skin that has lines and wrinkles and darkness, they're both worth checking out. And I kind of like the Westman Atelier better because it really goes through my life very well, which includes sweating and lines and wrinkles and, you know, this whole situation on this eye. Now, let me get a small little brush, or a pointed brush that I hope is clean. A teeny bit of cropping. The trick is to blend this out without removing your coverage. And on this side, it's a little more prominent. And whatever is left on this powder brush, smack that, but not a lot. And there you go, you guys. I hope that was really helpful, and I'm going to leave it at that. I hope you find one of these works super, super well for you. I think this is great. It's also great on the face. I just can't help it. I feel so bad because I do like so much from Rituel de Fille, including this beautiful, beautiful foundation. Let me just show you a little bit what's going on here. It's so lovely on the skin. It's so photographable too. You know, when I do my thumbnails, I had been looking for something and I was looking at the images, and I remember I was reviewing something else and I thought, oh my God, what was I wearing for this video? Because my skin looks insane. It was this. It's absolutely beautiful. That's going to wrap up today's video. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. I hope it was helpful, and I hope you come back again. Until we meet again, be safe and smart, and I'm wishing you good health. This is editing me, you guys. I edited a little bit a couple of days ago, a little bit last night, a little bit this morning, and I really felt the need to come back because I don't think I signed off as well as I could have. And I think I'm putting in a warning saying, go to the end. Go to the end. That's where we are right now. Nothing on my face. I haven't done zip. I haven't washed it. It's early in the morning, but I did want to come back and go over a couple of things. So it turns out we're kind of doing a head-to-head between these two because this one came so recently, and that's kind of unfair to this one. I will say this one for me. I'm 62. I have a world of troubles under my eyes. I have puffiness, I have a trough, I have craggly eyes. It's a lot to have under one's eyes. And if you're my age, it's very possible you have the same kinds of issues that I have. I found that this creased a lot. When I say crease, it went into this area, into the trough. And I don't think it's about a little sleep under my eyes. I don't think it's because I use too much. I think it's because it's a little bit, I don't know, too creamy? I don't really know. I would say that it creased horribly on my lids, which I didn't notice because I was focused on this. But when I come back and I'm talking, every time I blink, I'm like, wow, this does not crease on the lids. Now, if you're not looking for putting something on your lids, then this won't matter to you. But it's worth talking about. If it's creasing that much on the lids and you have a trough, you're going to be getting some in here. It's not that it's not recoverable, it's just that what I should have done is what I did with the Westman Atelier, which is got my other mirror out, pulled everything taut, and then put this in. Actually, let's just do that now. I hope this is the right color. So do that. I also feel that the application with the finger was fine, but the application with the rougher brush was perfect. I'm not pulling out my other mirror, but I am going to go like this. And now I'm getting that coverage in that trough and really working it in. One of the things I love about this brush is it's softer. So I don't feel like going back and forth like this is too much for the eye. And I'm very gently pulling my eye out. Now, let's take a look. I don't think we're going to trough. And now, because this is my craggly eye, I just want to kind of press right here where I have a line that is vertical versus horizontal. So, better with the brush than the fingers in my opinion. Just use a little bit. If you have flat eyes, you don't have something like a trough where you have the overhang of the puffy eye and then like an in-between gap, then you're fine going on with a lot, I think. So the brush is the best. I only used a little bit right now and I'm not getting a lot of sheen and I'm not prepped or primed in any way. There's nothing on my face. So this does take a little bit of figuring out what's going to work for you. For me, with my skincare, I felt that it was quite shiny, but I was very successful the second day when I powdered in very specific places. I was just powdering where it was shiny instead of taking that brush and just putting it everywhere, which is what I usually do. I had come back hours later, 6, 7 at night, there was hardly any light in here, and I wanted to play with some makeup and do some eyeshadow, and as I did, I of course noticed my under eyes, and they looked fantastic. I have some of that footage, but again, the lighting isn't all that great. Maybe I'll put it here so you can see a little bit of it, but I was very, very impressed with the second day application. So this one is a little bit of learning curve. What will work for you specifically? For me specifically, it's the brush and it's powdering very specifically. And this one I also really, really like. I feel that this one adheres to the skin. So if you live in a humid climate, or you are like me and you're somebody who gets sweaty, you exercise and you get sweaty, or it's hot and you get sweaty, or you're going through hot flashes, which many women do for some years, this one might be the one, the Westman Atelier, that you will like. I do think that Rituel de Fille makes many fantastic products, and I think that this one is also fantastic. And you guys, that is going to wrap up this video. I know it was a journey for both of us. Thank you so much for hanging on. All the links are down below, the codes are down below. I want to thank you so much for spending time with me. I hope it was helpful, and I hope you come back again. Until we meet again, be safe and smart, and I'm wishing you good health.